Hello everybody, this is Sergey Baklikov. Believe it or not, but it's already for the third day in a row I'm starting from here. Yes, I'm starting from here, from this area. 2 days ago I filmed all the way through the embankments of Griboyedov Canal. Yesterday all the way through the embankments of Fontanka River. This is it. But today Sadovaya Street, what means Garden Street. Look, it's right there. It's right in the middle of Griboyedov Canal and Fontanka River. So, hello everybody. My name is Sergey Baklikov. You're watching Baklikov Live. 31st of March 2021 today, and this is gonna be a nice day. 2 live streams today. The first live stream now, it's a walking tour, full tour through the Sadovaya Street, and then spiritual chants of 16th, 19th centuries for a male choir in one of the most significant churches of St. Petersburg, Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood. I'm now walking through an old Kalinkin bridge, 1786, and going in direction of Sadovaya Street. Yeah, what a weather today. You know, today it's +5, a little bit colder than it was yesterday. Yesterday was plus. Yesterday it was +8. Today +5. But way more sunny. And I just feel the sun. The sun is really grilling me. Now this is the building where it's now located, the University of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Russia, the Faculty of Finances and Economics. But back in the days here was the 4th Admiralty Unit. Windy it looks. JNS, hi everybody, Jay Lewis, Neil McDonald, Simon Hattar, everybody. Yes, it's windy here because we're actually next to Fontanka River there, and less than a kilometer from here there's already the Gulf of Finland, so the wind goes from there. Now I guess when I will get to the actual street, it will be not so windy. Now that's the place where Fontanka River meets Griboyedov Canal. Griboyedov Canal beginning from here. 2 days ago I was making full walking tour exploring Griboyedov Canal. Check it out. That was an awesome walk. Yes, 2 days ago, and yesterday went all the way through Fontanka. Today we go right in the middle of Fontanka and Griboyedov Canal, Sadovaya. Okay, welcome to Sadovaya Street. Welcome to the Garden Street, one of the oldest streets that goes through the historic city center of St. Petersburg. And look, flat iron building of St. Petersburg. How do you like it? Especially staying here. You can see that this is our flat iron. This is our flat iron. Yeah, babes. It looks awesome, especially from here. It's a revenue house of Kudryavtsevo, built in 1912. Neoclassicism, architected by Schaub. And look, Let me tell you that Sadovaya Street is the street where the tram rails goes all the way from the very beginning to the very end. So you see the railways already here, and they will go like this all the way. Ohio here. Hi, Michael Milkevich, Ilya Kuryakin, LMC Nicole, chocolate syrup overdose. Drop your wallet, Sergey? No, I dropped this cable, my Apple cable, lighting cable. Sadovaya, it's about 4.3 kilometers long. I guess it's about like 3 miles, maybe some less than 3 miles. Like 2.5 miles, I guess. I'm going in direction of Turgenev Square. By the way, this district actually called Kolomna, and this is unique district. It's unique because here is a maximum of the historic buildings. Maximum of the historic buildings. It's an area which is actually, how to say, suffered the less in terms of the new constructions. Kolomna. So Sadovaya goes through a part of Kolomna, the municipal district called Kolomna. Turgenev Square, Ivan Turgenev, novelist, playwright, poet. One of the most significant novels, Fathers and Sons, Ivan Turgenev. Here also, like in the most parts of the historic St. Petersburg, or a revenue houses, or a mansions. Like, for example, this is the mansion, but this is definitely a revenue house. Revenue house, it's the residential building, which is like full-featured residential building with the apartments, but having only one owner. The owner who constructed the whole house, the whole residential building, for making money, to give the apartments for rent. Apartments and sometimes the rooms in the apartments, and you know, even the corners. Like, again, if you read Crime and Punishment of Fyodor Dostoevsky, then you might remember that Raskolnikov, the student Rodion Raskolnikov, lived in the corner Here is a school, one of the schools. The school of Kolomna district. Ivan Turgenev Square. He was writing in a genre of Russian realism. The spirit of history is big here. And this is actually a kindergarten. Well, I told you that Kolomna is the district where here is a maximum of the historic buildings. But even here some residential buildings were destroyed, and let's say this one is from 1950s. Stalinist neoclassicism. Ivan Turgenev Square. Not only the residents. Playground for kids. The benches. Many trees. Dudes, can you imagine that already in 2 weeks from now everything must be green? I want to go through Ivan Turgenev Square. No boutiques, webcams, Russia. Hi, dudes. Yes, Kolomna is great. Well, it's already pretty decent in terms of how everything looks after the winter. Kind of dry. Turgenev Square. Nice. And here is the memorial to the Church of the Intercession of the Holy Mother of God. That was built in 1812, but unfortunately destroyed in 1934. So here was the church, now only the monument. So here was the church, and at the same time here was the home of the Society for the Poor, which was referred to that Church of the Intersection of the Holy Mother of God. There's Fontanka, so we go along Fontanka River. You guys never forget that today 2 live streams after this one, almost after this one, almost right away there will be another one from the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood. Yes, the spiritual chants of 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th centuries for a male choir. Dvor, 2 restaurant. Amazing architecture. Mostly this is like the middle of 19th century here. Today when I was looking for the years of when the buildings were constructed. Mostly it's starting from 1840 to the beginning of 20th century. So it's like the middle and the second half of 19th century. And amazing websites, let me remind you, and amazing websites to check how old is the buildings. You can go to the website which is called How Old Is This .house. How old is this house? So there's the map, and you just literally click on each building, and there you see what it was historically, not what it is now. Because many buildings now, they're inside not what it used to be. So there you can see what it was historically. Let's say the revenue house, or maybe the municipal building, or something else. When it was started to be constructed, when finished, who is an architect, and what's the style it is. How old it is this house. The tram. Let me remind you once again that tram rails goes all the way through Sadovaya up to Mikhailovsky Castle and the summer garden, where we will come yet. Yes, J. Lewis, thank you for the link. How old is this house? An amazing project, a voluntary project. So there's the guy, so much respect to him. The guy making good work. And there's another website which is called citywalls.ru, and actually that's where from the guy taking information, but he makes it even more like comfortable. To track the architecture. Now this is interesting. Look, such a balcony and another balcony. It's good we have the sun now, and it's good that actually it is shining right to the right side. It would be way worse if the sun now would shine right in camera. Another school. School number 260. It's a nice 1930s constructivism. And here is 1916, a house which used to belong to commissioner, merchant Ioffe. This house was known as the house with cinema or the house with movie theater. 1960s, neoclassicism, designed by an architect, Yusuf Palace. Right from the very beginning here was at first miniature theater and then the movie theater. One of the first movie theaters in this city and in Russia. It was called at first Raduga, rainbow. Yes, in the moments when rainbow meant just a rainbow. Then the new star, then records. And now this is the House of Youth, so-called House of Youth, which is called Record. Here is different activities for the youth. And look, Ioffe. Exactly his house also right in the five corners of St. Petersburg. Five corners. That famous a building with a tower. And look, he has the movie theaters there as well. The movie theater for 250 seats. Yes, that famous building with a tower on a five corners, which is in the middle of Rubinstein Street and Zagordny Prospect. Here is the revenue house of Konstantin Ton. Konstantin Ton, here he himself was an architect, because Konstantin Ton, he is an architect. Let's say he designs Moskovsky Vokzal, Moscow railway station. But here it seems like pretty plain. So he never bores himself too much making the revenue house. Now this is Sadovaya 69, and this is the Soviet residential building. It is the building of 1846, but rebuilt in 1966. And look, here is such a typical for 1960s leaning windows. So the first floor, this is the floor for the stores. I don't know how to name it. Well, I call it like leaning windows. And I love such windows. I love it. Not sure why they don't do this now. And here we are now getting to a very unique place. I used to show this to you during my walking tour through embankment of Griboyedov Canal. Because look at this. This is Griboyedov Canal. There's a church of Isidore. I was walking here, and that's the place where actually Sadovaya Street for a little fragment meets with the embankment of Griboyedov Canal. So unique place. There is no place like this in the whole world, not even in Venice. Семимостье. I could translate it like seven bridges. It's the place from where you can see seven bridges. Seven bridges. This is Saint Nicholas Naval Church, because Saint Nicholas was considered as a saint patron of seamen, founded in 18th century yet. And what's really great that and amazing that during the World War II, not a single shell ever touched any parts of it. And there's Mariinsky. You see that's in the very background. Mariinsky Theater, an old Mariinsky theater. There is also the new Mariinsky theater, but from here we can't see. But we can see seven bridges. Let me show you once again. 1, 2. This is Griboyedov Canal, the place where it meets Kryukov Canal. 3, 4. There's 5 on the background. 6, that's where we're staying, Pikhalov Bridge. And 7. 7 bridges here. Unique place. There is no place like this in the whole world, not even in Venice. Well, here I compare with Venice, because in Venice there are also like bridges. Look how many pigeons. Okay. Now I go over Kryukov Canal. And this is Nikolsky Rяды, what means like Nikolsky market or Nicholas market. It was pretty comfortable for trading. Like the guys were coming from Neva or from Fontanka to Kryukov Canal, and they were getting their stuff right from the boats here. Yet, like several years ago, it was condition, now completely restored and got this second life. Here is already hotel, here is Hard Rock Cafe, and many more. They are making different festivals here in the summertime. In the winter time, here was the biggest mountain. I mean like snow mountain. It's 18th century, but here the guys who constructed this, the merchants, they wanted, however, it had a classic look, like such a gallery market. Like, you know, Gostiny, Dvor, the guest yard. Little square here, not sure how it's called, by the way. Just a little square along St. Nicholas Naval Cathedral. Fake rating, you really love your city. correct. Correct. I love it. Good lighting. Good lighting. And now that's the place where Griboyedov Canal and Sadovaya split again. Griboyedov Canal goes there, Sadovaya keep going straight. I have 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. I think that one day I need to make a ride through Sadovaya Street with a tram, because this is the street where the tram line goes all the way. This is cool, I think. It's pretty cool. Another pretty significant building. That's the building of fire departments and the police station, where also was the office of the city mayor back in 18th century. And you see, this is a watchtower for fire department, 46 meters from there. The guys were able to see everything what happens. And look, still, here is now the Ministry of Emergency Situations. So here is still the guys who are ready to come to help if something happens, the emergency situations. And here is also the investigation committee, now located in this historic building. And look, again here I have to recall the Crime and Punishment. That's where Raskolnikov, Rodion Raskolnikov, the student, the main character, was invited to the investigator. Let me tell you once again that all these neighborhoods are considered like Dostoevsky neighborhoods. Of course, like it's informal, but everybody knows this as Dostoevsky neighborhoods, where he lived himself, where he loved to hang out, and where he settled down the heroes of his novels. It's awesome. Here you really can touch the history. Look, I touch the history. You see? You see this? I touch the history. Да, я трогаю историю. Я прикасаюсь к истории. Прекрасно, прекрасно. Вы посмотрите. Eighteenth, 19th century courtyards. Wow, such a St. Petersburg. It's so St. Petersburger. This residential building now under the reconstruction. Sooner or later, but there comes the time for all the buildings here to be rebuilt. I mean reconstructed. Because rebuilt is not very... So here is a police department. The second police department of Ministry of Internal Affairs. So it's not nice when the buildings are getting rebuilt. It's important for them to be restored. I mean, to be just refreshed, but then to look exactly as they used to look like before, in its best years. Lions considered are the guards of this city, one of the main symbols, along with arches, bridges. This is the house of city institutions. I don't know, maybe it's better to say like municipal building. But if literally translated from Russian to English, it will be the house of the city institutions. Built in 1906 in a style of Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau. Here was the central office and office of the city pawn shop, statistical office of the city government with archives and book warehouse, city charity commission, 6 chambers of justices of the peace, hospital commission, the Commission of Public Education, a 4-year school for women, 2 2-year primary schools, a trades deputation, even a water supply commission, a city printing house, a city museum, 22 shops on the first and semi-basement floors. Now this is an amazing Constructivism, 1935, St. Petersburg State University of Industrial Technologies and Design. And even in the Soviet days it was a technical school of light industry. So back then it was called light industry, now Industrial Technologies and Design. 1935 Constructivism. Amazing Art Nouveau, I think. Pretty good. And this is still the University of Industrial Technologies and Design, but it's Soviet part. This is 1950s. Yeah, and absolute Stalinist neoclassicism. The monument stela for the soldiers of the October Division of the People's Militia from the workers of this district. From this place, at the 4th of September 1941, the militia soldiers of the Oktyabrski districts, back then it was called Oktyabrski, went into the battle for the motherland, for Leningrad. Yeah, I mean, they went for World War II. (1894) now. Water Rescue Society Board building. It looks awesome. And here is the Yusupov garden, the garden of Yusupov Palace. Let me tell you that Yusupov Palace, Yusupov family was one of the richest families in Russian Empire. Yusuf, he was a Khan who yet in 15th century allied with Ivan the IV, Ivan the Terrible, and that's how he got integrated into Russian Empire. And actually his descendants is already all was into Russian culture. They all had Russian names, and the last name Yusupov, it's actually a pretty Russified version of Yusuf. Now it's closed. It's closed for several weeks after winter to dry it up. 4 hectares of the garden. Normally it's always available for the residents. Here is pretty nice, a lot of benches, and there's a pond. And right in front of us on the background, that's Yusupov Palace itself. Yusupov family has over 50 palaces in the Russian Empire, 3 of them here in St. Petersburg. Yusupov Palace on Moyka River, Yusupov Palace here, well, you can say on Sadovaya or on Fontanka, because there on the other side there's Fontanka River, and Palace of Zinaida Yusupova. And look, you know, can you imagine that this little garden, well, a relatively little garden, and its ponds actually played a huge role in basements, in in the development of Russian figure skating, because exactly here was the first championships of in Russia, the champions of figure skating. So this garden played a huge role, and now Team Russia is still leading pretty much in all the figure skating tournaments, championships, tournaments. Here is an interesting one with the avenue of Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. Cool story on skating. Yes, like check out Panin Kolomenkin. He was the very first Russian Olympic champion. And he prepares here. Here is the Museum of Russian Railways. Let's show you. The Central Railway Museum of Russia. I was in the Railway Museum next to the Baltic Railway Station, not in this one. Yeah, it's a shame, I still never was here. I think I need to fix it. Okay, and now we're getting to famous Sennaya Square, Hay Square, the place where was a big market. The most popular market because it was the cheapest market. Well, unfortunately now it doesn't look as it used to back in 18th, 19th century. I watched the photographs, and now it doesn't look like that. But still, this is pretty crowded place with a lot of trading, because here is the place where 3 metro stations from 3 different lines meet. Yeah, from here you can get to 3 different metro lines, metro stations: Sadovaya, Sennaya Square, and Spasskaya. Sennaya Square. It's from the word Sena, hay. So historically, the market was started as just the place where they sold hay, firewoods. And the game Hay Square described in Crime and Punishment. So this is it. Still pretty much crowded place with a lot of business everywhere. Here is the stores, the restaurants, business centers. Hay Square. You can actually Google for Hay Square, 19th century, or like old photos, and you will see that. You will see how it was like full of such, you know, market pavilions. Many people on their horses and horse carriages. Yeah, like real old school market. They don't sell hay here anymore, but still, this is the respect to the history. That's why it's still called Hay Square. This is, by the way, the very beginning of Moskovsky Prospect, Moscow Avenue. You just go straight and you will get to Moscow Interstate and all the way to Moscow. And also to Pulkovskое шоссе, Pulkovo Interstate, and you will get to, in like 20 kilometers from here, you will get to International Airport of St. Petersburg. So this is it. You see, from here you can get to 3 metro stations on 3 different lines, to the 2nd line, 4th and 5th. Sadovaya, Spasskaya, and Sennaya Square. There's modern mall called Peak. Unfortunately, it is spoiled the historic concept, the historic look. But there is one nice place there on the top floor, the cafe called Barashki. Like, it means little lambs. And when you sit there, you don't see this. It's like, you know, there's a guy in France who, when they constructed an Eiffel Tower, said that's my favorite place. Like, he said, I absolutely hate Eiffel Tower, but my favorite place in Paris is an Eiffel Tower. Why? Because when I'm sitting there, I don't see the Eiffel Tower. So same here. Now, unique place, it's the guardhouse. The guardhouse constructed in 1820. The thing is, this is the only guardhouse like this kind of guardhouses, which you can find in Russia. You can't find guardhouses like this anywhere else in Russia. Not anymore. Look at these numbskulls who got right on its zebra. Hay Square, not Hay Square, not Hay Market anymore, but still so crowded. As crowded as it used to be. In this area, a lot of markets, by the way. Historically was a lot of markets. Still, there's a whole district the whole block, which is called Apraksin Dvor, Apraksin Yard, which is now completely occupied with the people who sell cheap stuff. And that stuff is pretty popular. Cheap stuff attracts many people because everybody can afford it. Intersection with Gorokhovaya Street. Here is Master Kebab place. Master Kebab, a chain of shawarma places. Yeah, another symbol of St. Petersburg, shawarma. People here love shawarmas. For less than $2, you can get stuffed so much. You can get stuffed with only one shawarma for less than $2. Now look at this Art Nouveau building, 1904, designed by an architect, Fyodor Lidvoy. This is the house, it was the house for the second Mutual Credit Society. Now here is located Untruth Museum, a part of it. Mostly there's like the store now. But it used to be the house of the second Mutual Credit Society. Amazing Art Nouveau, designed by Fyodor Lidvoy. So this is it, the markets of Apraksin Dvor, Apraksin Yard. Now here is like the cheapest market in this city. If you get there inside, there's a whole block. If you will get inside, you like will get to another world. I think I'm gonna visit it one day. It's really huge. Wow, that looks dangerous. Damn. I almost forgot something. Here is the building with an absolutely amazing sculptures right in the wall. Let me show you. Some freaking vandals. Damn, I was here like, you know, like 2 weeks ago, if you remember. I don't remember what it was about. I went somewhere and I used to show and everything was good. Now look what some idiots made here. Yeah, from time to time it happens. Then they restore it. And then eventually it happens again. Why? Stupid motherfuckers. Damn, they spoiled my mood now. Fucking Neanderthals. Numbskulls, correct. Numbskulls. Frigging idiots. Jim Scott's, thanks for the tour, Sergey. Welcome big time. Thank you for watching and appreciation. Now here is a former assignation bank designed by an architect, Giacomo. And this is exactly that building from Griboyedov Canal, where is a former assignation bank, but now this is Saint Economics. There's a bust of Giacomo Quarenghi, the architect. I'm sure this building more known for you from the side of Griboyedov Canal. It's right in front of Bank Bridge with those griffons. Actually, those are not really griffons, because the griffons, it's like the body of a lion and the head of eagle, but there's like just like lions with the wings, but still people call them griffons or griffins. Now that's how it looks like from the side of Sadovaya Street. Electric scooter business already here. They got back from the winter break. Okay, this is Gostiny Dvor, St. Petersburg Grand Guest Yards. They constructed this for 20 years, from 1765 to 1785, and it's really huge. This is Lebanon Street. There's Dumskaya. It's like one of the most nightclub streets in St. Petersburg. They're like on 40 meters of the streets, about like 25 bars and nightclubs. Meanwhile, here is the palace of Vorontsov, Mikhail Vorontsov, Russian statesman. Russian statesman and diplomat, one of the closest associates of Elizabeth of Russia, or Elizaveta Petrovna, a younger daughter of Peter I, Peter the Great. Vorontsov actually participated in Palace Revolution of 1741. That's when a one-year-old Emperor Ivan VI and his parents were overthrown, and to the throne came Elizabeth of Russia. Now here is the third general jurisdiction court of cassation. The Vorontsov Palace. And here we are walking now all along the galleries of Grand St. Petersburg guest yards, Gostiny Dvor, 18th century kind of. And still, this is the mall. Yes. So here the buyers were walking all around, and here we're staying the merchants. We're selling their stuff, just everything. It's relatively not far from Dvor, so here the stuff from all over the world were coming. Meanwhile, here is another branch of Russian National Library. It's really huge, because all next like 4 buildings, it's all the branches of Russian National Library now. If you remember, there's a Russian National Library on Fontanka River, almost right on the intersection with Nevsky Prospect, here, and in Moskovsky districts on Moskovsky Prospect. Okay, Nevsky Prospect. All the roads lead to Nevsky, if you remember. So here it is. Now here you can see how really huge is Gostiny Dvor. Because look, there's another walkway like this. Look, there. And there. And it's all around it. Two more sides. All four sides are like this. The street musicians are here. Yeah, of course. And awesome weather. And this is Sadovaya 52. Sadovaya 52, pretty significant address. That's Karl Schroeder, Revenue House. He was the owner of famous piano and grand piano fabric. This Revenue House was built in 1880, designed by an architect, Schaub. In the beginning of 20th century, here was the whole of music lovers society. Yes, so-called music lovers society. And this is exactly the place where was the debut of Dmitry Shostakovich. Here also performed Sergei Prokofiev. Shostakovich, Prokofiev, one of the greatest Russian composers ever. And about same time, in the beginning of 20th century, like 1918, here began its work, the Puppet House, and which is still here. The Puppet House is still. Let's continue exploring Sadovaya. We are getting to this finish line, but I need to go through pedestrian underpass for that now to get on the other side. Gostiny Dvor, guest yard, 1785. My name is Sergei Baklakov. Continue this amazing walking tour. Premiere of this tour through Sadovaya. And here I need better to hurry up. Here is the connection getting lost sometimes, I know. Hey, nice. Nice, right? Hey, good photos you're gonna get, babe. Okay, so as I told you, this is now the branch, one of the branches of Russian National Library. This is Sadovaya 52, Karl Schroeder Revenue House, it used to be. Then the House of Music Lovers Society. Here was the debut of Dmitry Shostakovich. And then here got Puppet House. Puppet House is still there. Okay, getting to the finish line. Here is like maybe, I don't know, maybe another 10 minutes walk, and that's it. Now, this is the building which is known as the house with 4 colonnades. Yeah, here we see 3 colonnades, and there's one more on the corner. It's 1750, rebuilt in 1809. Classicism, yes, this is a pretty strict classicism, designed by an architect, Luigi Rusca. Luigi Rusca. In 19th century, here was the Ministry of Finances. Here I see now the restaurant called Tsar. Tsar, look at that. Yeah, restaurant Tsar. Would you love to go to a restaurant called Tsar? I definitely would love to. Yeah, we'll keep in mind. Got a bookmark in my head. I mean, pinned it in my head. Tsar restaurants in a house with 4 colonnades. That's nice mix. Nice mix, for sure. For sure. This is the 3rd military gymnasium. Cadet Corps of Emperor Alexander II was here. 1877, Neo-Renaissance. Now here is a business center, which is called Senator. And this is, it used to be a wing. No, not this one. Next one. This is Italian Street. The theater named after Vera Komissarzhevskaya. The theater which worked every single day in the days of the siege of Leningrad. And this is a military commandant's office in St. Petersburg. Yes, always it was a military building. Still it is. You see, there's already Mikhailovsky Castle. Now look at this. It used to be the service wing of Mikhailovsky Palace. Now here is located the Museum of Ethnography. You see where's the fence? There's Mikhailovsky Palace, where it's now the Russian Museum, the largest collection of Russian arts for more than 1,000 years history of Russia. And here is the Museum of Ethnography. Russian Museum of Ethnography tells about simple and close to everybody's subjects, how people worked sometimes, achieving the highest level of mastery, how they built and organized their houses, how they rested, reared their children, dressed, and in what they believed. So this is how for only 1 hour, 25 minutes, we actually went through the whole street of Sadovaya, the Garden Street. By the way, I never told you why it is called Garden Street. The thing is, like starting from Nevsky Prospect to Sennaya Square, that side, initially there was that side. There was many mansions of like a really wealthy people, high society people, and all of them had the gardens. Yes, like Yusupov Palace. So that's why it was called Garden Streets. Like that streets went through a lot of gardens. But now you can actually call it Garden Street, because now it's also happened so that it is beginning from the summer garden, the oldest garden founded yet by Peter the Great in 1704. Look, he founded this city in 1703, the city of St. Petersburg, but the garden already the next year. I used to show that yesterday to you. That's where it's located his pretty modest summer palace of Peter the Great. It's War Minister's mansion. I mean, of course, what it used to be. War Minister's mansion. Here is Mikhailovsky Sad, Mikhailovsky Garden, which has belonged to Mikhailovsky Palace. And here is the square of Peter the Great. I'm on hot tar. Coffee on me, thank you. Thank you too. Thank you for watching. So, Mikhailovsky Castle, or St. Michael's Castle, built by an order of Emperor Paul I in 1801, and that's where he was assassinated on 40th day of living here. It's not typical for St. Petersburg that it is really built like a castle. Medieval castle. Mikhailovsky garden. Mikhailovsky, what does it mean, Mikhailovsky? Mikhailovsky is like Michael's, St. Michael's. And the castle called Mikhailovsky, St. Michael's Castle, because it's dedicated to Archangel Michael. So that's why it's called, not like a Pole's castle, which is literally the castle which was for Pole, Tsar Pole, but because probably they thought it's more important to name it after Archangel, the Saint Archangel. So this is it. That's the very end, or the very beginning of Sadovaya Street, and you see the tram lines keep going here. I told you that this is the street where the tram lines goes all the way through the street. Yes, a week ago, it was exactly 220 years since the assassination of Paul I. Okay. This area, that's where Moyka meets Griboyedov Canal, Griboyedov Canal meets Fontanka, and Fontanka meets Neva there. So this is Summer Garden. Moyka, Fontanka. Field of Mars. Mars, the god of war. Once again, Summer Garden. Прекрасно. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed all the way through Sadovaya Street. See you in like 10 minutes. Let me tell you. Yeah, see you in in 17 minutes. In 17 minutes we'll begin another live stream. Spiritual chants of 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th century for a male choir. They will perform in the Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood. It's there. You see? We will go there now. It will be on another live stream on my channel, not here. Thank you for watching. Sergey Baklykov Live. See you in 15 minutes. Anyway, in the end, traditional panorama. start. See you all guys. Maria Zakharova, Ralph Palmgren, Ronald Lewis, Jim Siegel, Miguel Onyx, Rishab Sethi, Jose Bowden. Chaz Brown, Christine Kazuba, Shin Mouton, there under Marcus, Paulina Starr, Phil Martinez, Michael Milkevich.